Alright, I am back with another Destiny 2 video. I am not about to do some DPS testing here in our fake little firing range we have. I'm here to talk about Nezarec. Yesterday we got the grand reveal that the relics are actually pieces of Nezarec that we are reclaiming from the Fallen. And we got a little cutscene as part of the story quest for the week, where we learned the history of Mithrax, that his mother, I believe, along with some other Fallen, found Nezarec entombed in the Moon Pyramid, sort of dissected him, took pieces of him that were darkness infused, and it kind of gave them power, but also drove them crazy, and it made Mithrax kind of a violent killer. But to kind of understand Nezarec, I think we need to go further back in time. He doesn't have a long history in Destiny, but it has been this kind of mysterious presence in the game for a while. So Byte does have a video of this. It's very good for catching up, but it is not caught up to where we are as of yesterday, so I feel like maybe I'm adding a little bit here. And there was a special portion of this that is going to be all about a very specific weapon that is related to all this. At least that we now know is related to all this. So this all started, nope, that's under exotics, with Nezarec's Sin. And this is a vanilla, you can see the red war symbol. This is a vanilla era Destiny helmet where void damage kills increased ability recharge rate. It's a good exotic. It's very good with the new 3.0 subclasses and stuff. And it synergizes well there. But the lore of this is what was kind of driving people crazy for so long, because it just seems so disconnected from anything else in the game. So he is that which is an end, and he shall rise again. Passage from Of Hated Nezarec, a pre-Golden Age text. So this is Earth before even the Golden Age happened, and then obviously the fall and the collapse was after that. And then we have the actual lore here. He is that which is end, that which covets sin, the final god of pain, the purest light, the darkest hour, and he shall rise again. When the guiding shine fades and all seems lost, he will call to you, fear not. All he offers is not as dark as it may seem, for Nezarec is no demon, but a fiend, arch and vile in ways unknown. He is a path and a way, one of many, and his sin, so wicked, so divine, is that he will never cower when dusk does fall, but stand vigilant as old stars die in new light blinks its first upon this fated eternity. So that's the extended passage. So for forever, for years, this was pretty much just like no one really has any idea what this thing is. Like this, we knew that there are just kind of larger mysteries out in the universe. Like we've never fully solved the mystery of the Nine. And Nezarec was even more of a footnote than the Nine. It was literally just based around the single helmet. Pretty much never came up again. That changed eventually, where there was some, I think it was Season of the Drifter, there was some lore about that mentioned the 7 tombs of Nezarec, just in passing, as like somewhere he'd been or something. But then last season, timing is no coincidence there, we got Nezarec's Whisper, which is a glaive. And as we know, glaives are tied to disciples of the Witness. Rolk has his own glaive, Lubray's Ruin. And then this is the second named Nezarec weapon. Rise, disciple, and bear this gift with pride. Rolk, disciple of the Witness. So Rolk gave this to another disciple. That disciple is Nezarec. The lore here is mostly Eris like having a vision of another, like she's like pretty much transports herself into a pyramid and sees the glaive and is trying to find where Nezarec is, but there is no reply. Moving to yesterday, we learned that Nezarec, at least one of Nezarec's tombs, was a quite very literal tomb inside the pyramid, and the Lunar Pyramid apparently used to belong to Nezarec himself, who was a disciple who died. The running theory is that perhaps Nezarec betrayed the Witness, did not fulfill his disciple duties, and was killed. We do not know exactly how that unfolded, how he was killed, anything like that. But we do have even more clues because now we can tie all of this to a third piece of gear in the game. Delicate Tomb, which is the Season Pass exotic. And this has been, I've loved this gun from the start. I think it's great. The synergy with Arc 3.0 is fantastic, but that is not what I'm talking about today. It's kind of staring us in our face. This weapon, I believe, houses a piece of Nezarec, like the darkness elements, which kind of gives it its power. Literally, it is called Delicate Tomb. The danger within is repulsive to us, and there is lore, which sure sounds like Nezarec talking about returning. So I'll just read this. They mistake the vessel for its contents. They confuse the pieces with the whole. They see their imprisonment as empowerment. They are hostages of their flesh, unable to see without vision, unable to hear without sound, unable to slake their thirst for fear of drowning. Their ignorance is their saving grace. Yet one among them understands. In their limited fashion, they pour from one vessel to another, a welcome change, a new form, another method of gifting death. I am made finite, personal, bright and delicate to hide my true form and intimacy. They think me contained, but I am instead diffused as vapor upon the wind. Once again, I am becoming. So the idea here is that this is Nezarec saying this. I'm not 100% sure who he's referring to here. I thought maybe it was Savathun, because Savathun, can change forms. She turned into Osiris, and I think that's what's being referenced here, but I'm not entirely sure. If you really study the design here of this, you can see all the little clues. I don't know how to make this stay, but why isn't this staying? All right, whatever. There's a pyramid here. There's a pyramid trigger. There is darkness crap like leaking out of this everywhere. There's pyramids here. These symbols. There's also one down here. These are pretty reminiscent of ones that you would find in Vow of the Disciple. There is a second ornament for this, but it's just like covering the whole thing in like catch pirate stuff. So I don't think that's really saying anything. But an interesting thing about this is the reason I'm out here is just a peaceful place to fire this gun. So nothing really happens when you fire it necessarily. The little wings come out, but when you reload it, you got to look really quickly. But there are gears in there, and if you inspect this more carefully, and if you go back and look at some of the concept art, I'm going to transition to that now. So this is Carson Reed, Cinemotions, he has all like the character models that he dissects. So this is what the interior of this actually looks like. And you may recognize this as being very, very pyramid tech. This is what we like, the kind of curling gear things that we see in all of the pyramid weapons. And then there is the striations over there. So that's what he could see on the reload animation there. And then there was Destiny Bulletin posted this Delicate Tomb concept art. This is the original. This is something housed in the interior that I do not think we can see. I believe that this could be like a Nezarec claw that is powering the entire thing. And then there's literally, in this version, there's just the pyramid just sitting on the side here. I don't think we have that on ours, do we? I think maybe that was a little too unsubtle, or did they keep that and I just totally missed it? I don't think it's still there. No, they changed it. Did they change it to this thing? But then this is the kind of description of it, and a plume of dust when replacing the magazine. So that is something that is, at least was supposed to happen. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't notice the plume of dust when you replace the magazine. Maybe this is not the right lighting, but I don't actually see a plume of dust here. Maybe that effect was too hard to produce, but that was the original intent. The point being, I very much think that we are using literally a Tomb of Nezarec as a weapon. So we are housing a piece of Nezarec in this weapon ourselves. It kind of bums me out that this was just the seasonal pass weapon, as opposed to something we got as like a mystery reward from a quest. Oh, there's the pyramid. He just moved it, made it like part of the site. One of like a bunch of them on here. But I very much think that this is the point of this weapon. You'll also note the name of the perk here, Trader's Vessel. Yeah, so again, I believe the idea is that Nezarec was a traitor to the Witness. One thing we do not know is what species Nezarec is. I have heard some speculate that it could be Elixni, but I have not seen any proof of that necessarily. There's just something about here it talks about the unable to slake their thirst for fear of drowning. Someone said that was like an ether reference. I'm not sure if that's true. In the past, disciples have been the last surviving living member of their race, although we know, like Rolk was, but we know there's exceptions, like Calus is now a disciple. I'm pretty sure he's officially a disciple, even though the Cabal are not extinct, and he is serving the witness, so we don't know exactly what Nezarec is, and we got a glimpse of his form that looks, I don't know, it looks like Sauron, I guess, like from what we can see. We can't see his head or anything, but obviously we have we have his helmet, so that could be some indicator of, maybe that's the helmet he used to wear, but we do not actually know what species he is. I'm not even sure if we know definitively if Nezarec is male or female. No, I always do this. But that is something that has yet to be revealed. It also sure sounds like that we are moving toward Nezarec being reborn in some form or another. It sounds like even though he's, quote, dead, he kind of exists as this ethereal mist that is, still swirling around. And now we are getting all these different pieces of him, like little fingers and bits of bone and whatever, in these jars, and then bringing them all together. That if you're gonna bring something back from the dead, that sure seems like a way you might do it. So I think they said there were 7 tombs of Nezarec. I literally think we're holding one. The main one is in the Lunar Pyramid. I don't know. I don't think the little boxes for all the Nezarec parts count as tombs because they were taken from the original Moon Tomb. They're kind of their own thing. I don't know exactly where we're going here. I hope we will lead somewhere very cool, like we resurrect Nezarec. Interesting. And he aids us in our fight against the Witness. That would be a wild extension of the lore that we got so long ago that we never thought we'd be doing something like that. And yet, I don't know. Like, worst case, there's just a bunch of passing references to Nezarec, and we take his power from the darkness relics, and it helps us, and blah, 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 blah. I said previously that I think Eris is going to be building Strand, the subclass, and that she's going to be using Egregore and the power from these relics that is darkness infused as ingredients for it, and then maybe we'll have more ingredients next season. That is still my theory, but now we have to kind of speculate as to whether or not Nezarec is returning. And it sounds like that, but I just wanted to at least catch everyone up on where we've been, and now that we know that Nezarec is in the relics, how Delicate Tomb fits into all of this, and how this has kind of just been staring us in the face this entire time, which I think is very cool. I'm really excited that they did this, and I think that's really neat. So there's probably more clues to find. I just saw some note that someone said that the things in the helm are whispering now. I don't know if that's true. I got to go check that out. But anyway, we're a little over halfway through the seasonal story right now, so we will see what happens in the future. I don't know how any of this relates to the rival group that is attempting to get the pieces of Nezarec. That is not Aramis. That is not us. I still have no real concrete theories on that, so I guess we'll find out. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and next time you use this gun, just think of it's yet another super being that we are firing out of a weapon here. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Take care.